This is beautiful North Truchas Peak, elevation 13,024 feet, taken from Chimayosos Peak, with beautiful high alpine wildflowers in the foreground. I have 4 Google Earth images of this hike. The first 3, the entire 4-day hike. The last one is centered on day 1, July 11, 2009. I'll be doing 3 videos on this hike that I did with my son, Garret Robinson. This is day 1 of a 4-day hike into the Pecos wilderness. This is the first of 3 videos I'm doing. We went with a goal of hiking 5 of the high mountain peaks in the Pecos wilderness. I've hiked Truchas Peak 5 times before, but never hiked the other 3 Truchas Peaks. On Saturday morning, July 11, 2009, I left the house at 5 a.m. with my son Garret. I hiked with him to Truchas Peak when he was 12 and his brother Brandon was 10. Garret is now 29. We drove to Santa Barbara Campground and began to hike about 8 a.m. Our goal for the day was the Truchas Lakes. We hiked up the west fork of the Santa Barbara. I've hiked out this way 3 times before, but never hiked up. Most people do this hike in 2 days. It's 13 miles to the Truchas Lakes by the signs, but my GPS said 11 miles. We were starting at an elevation of 8,800 feet and going to the ridge, which is 12,000 feet. It's a gorgeous canyon, one of my favorite in New Mexico. The first half of the hike has an elevation gain of only 1,000 feet, and there are some beautiful meadows for a first night's stay, but we pressed on. This is the 4th year straight that I have been doing these hikes with my son, and what a great joy to do them with him. On past hikes, we had 50 to 55 pound packs, but we wanted to go lighter so that we could press on further. We converted to what I call ultralight luxury. We both had about 30 pound packs. My pack was 19 pounds of equipment, 2 pounds of water, and 9 pounds of food, including in the 9 pounds were 2 pounds of T-bone steak, ultralight luxury. The hike from the meadows to the ridge is a real chugger with lots of switchbacks. We made the ridge, I'm guessing about 3:30 or 4 p.m. We saw a herd of female bighorn sheep with some of their babies. They were very curious and ran down the mountain to check us out. We were so close to North Truchas Peak, about a half mile, but a long way up, and we decided to do the peak today before going to camp. When we were about a quarter mile away, but still a long way up, my son, because of his knees, decided to do the peak another day. He hiked it on the last day. I pressed on to 13,024 foot elevation top. There were beautiful views in all directions. I came back down and met Garret We took a direct route to the lakes and set up camp. It was 11 miles and took 10 hours. I was experimenting with a new bivy tent called a Nemo Go-Go. It's part combination between a bivy and a tent. Garret set up his little one-person tent. We had a campfire that evening and cooked those wonderful T-bone steaks in the coals. The elevation of the beautiful Truchas Lakes were about 11,900 feet. We went to bed in anticipation of the next 3 days in the beautiful high country of the Pecos wilderness.
Get him as a bighorn sheep. And here's Garret. We're about to go do we did 11 miles yesterday, and I made it to the top of Truchas North Peak. We came in from Santa Barbara Campground and made it to Truchas Lakes. There's my Garret's tent on the left, and mine that bright green one. And here's Garret. We're going to be heading, here's Truchas Lake, down this way. We're in the second highest mountain range in New Mexico, and probably the most rugged. There is Truchas Lake, and there's Truchas Peak, which I've done 5 times, and not going to do it this time. We're going to try to do, I did Truchas North yesterday. We're going to do I guess they call it Medio Truchas, which is right there. So we're going to do today, and probably head up through some of that grassy area to the right, and then back behind that's Truchas Middle. And over there was Truchas North from before. And we're going to then try to do another day. We're here for 3 nights, 4 days. We're going to try to do Chimayosos Peak also. And here's Garret up here. I'm going to hand Garret the camera, have him take a picture of me. Don't press anything. There's Dad. So we're going to be heading to Medio Truchas Peak and Truchas Middle Peak today. And it's going to be a lot uphill. We're camping at about 12,000 feet in elevation, actually 11,900. So we've turned our backpacks from the big backpacks into day backpacks. We both came up here with about 30 pounds, about 11-mile hike.